This video is part of electrochemistry. We'll be focusing on the first application of electrolysis, which is copper refining. The main aim of copper refining is to convert impure copper into pure copper. So over here we have an electrolytic cell with its energy source, positive and negative terminals. We have our positive anode and our negative cathode. The anode is made up of impure copper and the cathode is made up of pure copper. There is a solution of copper sulfate, Cu2+, and SO4 2- of their respective ions in the solution. At the anode, the oxidation of water is not favored, so the copper is oxidized. The impure copper is oxidized in the following reaction. Impure copper to form copper 2+ plus 2 electrons. Similarly, at the cathode, water is not favored to be reduced. So the copper 2+ is reduced. And we have copper 2+ plus 2 electrons to form pure copper. We can ultimately see that these two reactions end up with this impure copper forming pure copper. So the copper ions that are a result of the impure copper being oxidized over here in the solution, they then become reduced by gaining 2 electrons and forming pure copper. It's either these copper 2+ from the oxidation or from the copper 2+ ions in the solution. This is why the concentration of the Cu2+ ions remains constant, because as it is produced, it is used. So as copper 2+ is produced, it is then also used, either from the copper sulfate or from the copper from the impure copper anode. The impurities, so the things that make the impure copper impure, form a sludge at the bottom when the impure copper is oxidized. There is not enough voltage for the impurities to also be oxidized. Said over here. If the impurities were to have a greater tendency to oxidize, then they would oxidize and move into the solution. For example, zinc. Zinc will not plate the copper because Zn2+ does not want to reduce. That is the basic idea for copper refining. Basically, you're wanting to convert impure copper into pure copper. This happens by impure copper being oxidized to form copper 2+ and copper 2+ from the solution being reduced to form pure copper on the cathode. And important to know, the sludge falls to the bottom and the concentration of the copper 2+ remains constant.